Okay, good evening, everyone. You are highly welcome to today's Safeoclock Health and Safety Interactive Workshop. So it's a pleasure to have all of us here again today to discuss on this topic, horseplay at workplace. So just like our culture has been, I will lead the presentation. A few minutes, I will run through my presentation slide. Then we'll share our personal experience and discuss what we know about the topic. So today's topic is horseplay at workplace, the impacts and the prevention. So in this short presentation, we'll look at the definition of horseplay. We'll look at some of the causes of horseplay at work, and we'll look at the effects, how the horseplay will affect the workplace, and we'll talk about how to prevent horseplay and how to respond to horseplay at workplace. So let's start with the definition. When we talk about horseplay, we mean those activities that tends to disrupt the work environment through unnecessary physical contact, pranks, or jokes. So it could be a contact physically. Horseplay does not necessarily has to do with touching the person or trying to play with the person, but there's some jokes, there's some verbal disruptions that can also be considered as horseplay because it tends to interrupt the work progress and it tends to disrupt the work environment. So horseplay can range from harmless actions to more serious behaviors. So in some situations, it could be an action that tends to just be like a joke that there is no harm intended. It could also reach to the point that it becomes very serious hazard or very serious bad behavior that could lead to injury. So they can include unnecessary roughhousing, pranks, or practical jokes. It can also be, it can disrupt workflow and create a safety hazard. Example of horseplay include tripping, throwing objects, or wrestling at the workplace. So what could cause horseplay? Horseplay could be caused by lack of supervision. If activities are going on and nobody is supervising the workers, so that will give them room to engage in horseplay. Another reason could be boredom or low morale. When people are not motivated to do the job, they tend to while away time with plays and jokes and all sorts of horseplay. Another cause could be high pressured environment. So when the environment is so, when the supervision or maybe the people are putting lots of pressure on the workers, they will try to find some time to joke or find some time to ease off tension. So that could lead to horseplay. Another cause could be poorly defined work areas. When the work area is not properly defined, that people decide to work from different locations. So they have all the time to roam around and they have the time to engage in this horseplay. So this could be some of the effects of horseplay in the workplace. Injuries like sprain, strains, cuts, burns. So when people are engaging in horseplay, the effect is some people will get injured. in that process. There could be damage to equipment and the property in the workplace because people are engaging in horseplay, and this horseplay will create a dangerous environment which could lead to damage to the equipment, damage to the properties, injuries to the people. Another effect of horseplay is decreased productivity and morale. People, when they are playing, when they're engaging in horseplay, they will not focus on the job, thereby reducing productivity in the workplace. And the morale of other people who are supposed to be concentrating on the work, they reduce their morale because they see others engaging in horseplay, they see others not concentrating in the job, joking, and doing all manner of things. Then their morale will be reduced, and it ends up reducing productivity in the workplace. Another effect is increased tension and stress. When people has whiled away their time playing and joking and engaging in horseplay, they'll have few minutes or few hours to complete that task. If they've given a contract or they've given a specific task to complete on that day, because they've ended up whiling away most of their time, now they will be filled with tension, they will be stressed because they have short time to complete that task. So this is one of the effects of horseplay. Another effect is legal issues if injury occurs. During the work horseplay, there is high tendency, there is high probability that there will be injury, there will be damage, there could be, somebody could jokingly throw a cigarette butt and it causes fire. So in that case, there will be legal issues. The organization or the company will be faced with legal issues, either fines, either prosecution, either enforcement notice. So a lot of legal issues could originate from this horseplay when not properly handled. So let's look at how do we prevent horseplay in the workplace? The first approach is to develop clear policies. If the organization or the company has clear policies against horseplay, and while the employee is joining the company, he was properly briefed. During the induction, he was properly briefed, and he has read the policies that horseplay is not permitted at work or during the work time. So that clear policy will help to prevent people engaging in horseplay. They will understand what exactly the organization talks about and what they mean when they say horseplay. They will also understand the consequences. If you are caught engaging in horseplay, these policies will enumerate all these consequences. So the worker is aware of the consequences of horseplay from the day one. Then this policy should be made visible and accessible to everyone, either through toolbox talks, through meetings. It could even be pasted on notice boards. So this policy should be clear and visible to everybody. Another approach to preventing horseplay is to promote a safety culture, positive safety culture, ensuring that everybody understands their responsibilities, everybody understands what their roles are, and everybody understands that having a positive safety culture is everybody's responsibility. Encouraging open communication. So when people feel stressed, when people feel that they're overwhelmed, or when people feel that they don't have enough job to do, so encouraging open communication will help ensuring that the workers, they communicate to the supervisors on what are their challenges, and this will help get the appropriate solution instead of engaging in horseplay and whiling away time. Another approach is providing sufficient supervision. So ensuring that there is adequate supervision of the task, the people are properly supervised, and the number of worker and supervision ratio is sufficient. Not when you have more than 200 workers and you have only one supervisor. So the ratio parity is too wide, and the supervisor might not be able to have eyes on all the workers. So ensuring there is adequate supervision will help to prevent horseplay. Now, creating a positive work environment in the sense that the organization should ensure that they promote teamwork and collaboration so that everybody will be working together, seeing each other as teammates instead of idling away or allowing only few people to do the job. So if we create positive work environment, offer opportunities to employee engagement, so this will help to ensure that everybody understands what horseplay is and how to prevent it. So how do we respond to horseplay? If there's horseplay in the workplace or there's a report that people are engaging in horseplay, what are the adequate measures to take to respond to them and to ensure to prevent it from causing injury or causing incident? So the first one is to address the horseplay immediately. Don't say that after some time you will come back to it or let me finish what I'm doing. So if horseplay is ongoing and you got the information, you should immediately address it, stop it, correct it, give proper information so that you are able to prevent any unforeseen circumstance. Then, while addressing the horseplay, Michael, close your mouth now. Victor, go and sit down and allow Michael. Let me finish what I'm doing. Addressing horseplay will help to, addressing the horseplay immediately will help to ensure that the incident or the issue does not escalate or doesn't cause injury in the process. Now, while addressing the horseplay, you should be firm and fair. Fair in the sense that you should not give judgment that will not give judgment that will favor both parties and not being biased in that judgment. Then while addressing the horseplay, remind employees of the safety policies, what the safety policy says, what are the responsibilities of the employees, and the employees should also take care of themselves and take care of their fellow employees. So this is part of their responsibility. So while addressing the horseplay, we should remind them of these policies and what are their responsibilities. Then, while trying to address the horseplay, we should investigate serious incidents and take disciplinary actions if necessary. So where there is an incident, if incident has occurred during the horseplay, we should address it, investigate, find out the root cause, and if horseplay is part of the causes, immediate or intermediary causes, we should give disciplinary actions where required to ensure that horseplay is properly addressed and not repeated next time. So this is the end of my presentation, and we are aware of what the dangers that horseplay could cause in our workplace, and I'm sure that we have had experience, we have had one or two issues or one or two experience in this regard. So it's time for us to share our experience and talk about it on personalized levels. Thank you very much. Okay, the floor is open, so we can all contribute. Guys, go ahead. Go ahead. Anybody that wants to contribute should go ahead.
Hello, sir. Hello, sir.
Hello, bro. I can hear you.
Hello.
Yes.
Yeah. Yes, I really appreciate you for your uh, contributions. All what you've said concerning horseplay is something that, to my mind, my understanding, it happens in almost all work sites. So you discover that people will say, it's not this common joke. It's not this common thing I've said that it will cause you to spring up, to start arguing or start quarreling, that kind of thing. So I believe because of the fact that it's a very common thing in the workplace, people may not have so much to talk about it because you've actually given an elaborate a discussion on it. So horseplay is something that we ought to look very, very critically because people overlook it. For the fact that they overlook it should be why we should place more seriousness or more attention on it. So it occurs in every workplace, and so there should be stringent measures in curtailing it in our work site. Mostly work sites that you have construction activities, very risky operations going on. So these are places that we ought to place more stringent control and make sure that these things don't cause problems at the work site. Now, it's also important that supervisors uh, 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 should be also be involved in this. Why am I saying that? Supervisors may see that these kind of things are not harmful. The engineer, project manager, whoever is involved, we want to say, is not all this common thing I've said. How come safety officer is having issues concerning horseplay? We shouldn't look at it in that aspect because even the supervisor can get hurt. Even the project manager and engineer can get hurt. Let us place a holistic value in control, minimizing the risk of horseplay in our work site. Thank you very much, sir.
Thank you very much, Monjede. Like you rightly said, it's something that many people consider as a little issue. And if you look deeply, you see that these little issues are what can lead to very high injury rate in the workplace. So it's on our neck as health and safety professionals to bring this topic on a broader note, on a wider note to the entire workplace, especially the supervisors, like you have said. They should understand that horseplay should not be encouraged and should not be allowed in the workplace. It's minor, but it's occurring every time. And if care is not taken, it can lead to very high injury. So let me give room for others to contribute.
Yeah, good evening.
Good evening.
Yeah, my own experience is the way you mentioned lack of supervision and high pressure environment. Whereby, in a site, workers will see maybe consultants, maybe safety officers, they are running because they don't have their helmets or because they're not wearing their safety vests or they're putting on wrong safety boots, they are trying to hide, during that process, something can happen. So with this, and you said so many things which, we need to, do to prevent all these type of behaviors or, manners in the site. So that is what my experience from what you just said. Thank you.
Thank you very much, Mr. Emmanuel. So you see that most of them, they've actually seen it as a way of life. They've seen it as part of the work fun. You see, somebody will I've witnessed in one of my sites, somebody is like carpenters. he will use hammer and be hitting on the helmet of his co-worker. So they take it as fun. They think maybe they're just joking, they're playing with each other and it's harmless. But in the process of doing that, something could happen. Maybe while raising the hammer up, the hammer could just fling backwards and hit someone else coming from behind. Or even the hammer can even break the helmet, because the helmet, you might consider that is still durable. You don't know how long the helmet has lasted. You don't know if the helmet has already expired. So while hitting it, thinking that you are just doing a minor hit, it will break and the hammer will hit on the head of. So they already think that it's a normal way of joking. I'm playing with my colleague. We are just having fun, trying to ease off some stress. But in the process, something can go wrong. So that is where we come in as health and safety professionals our job is we see ahead. We are taking proactive steps. We are thinking ahead of what could go wrong. So that is where we come in, and that is where we need to intensify our efforts to educate and keep talking to them and ensuring that they understand that this can be dangerous. Okay, let's get more contributions on this topic. Are you guys with us? Hello, Francis. I believe you are back now. Want to hear your voice. Sammy, Mr. Sarat, Mr. Mike. Let's get your own personal experience.
So Nazim, what are you printing? What are you printing? Oh, okay.
Come on, guys. David, go ahead.
Well, the topic is quite an interesting one, and like you have earlier said, most times we haven't really witnessed an incident, that occurred due to maybe horseplay, right? Because I couldn't really place my finger to any incident that has happened maybe in any of the sites where I've worked as a result of horseplay. So that's why I've not been able to come in to contribute. But however, horseplay is something that we do usually talk about, try to sensitize workers and advise them against avoiding horseplay, because sometimes this horseplay may lead to real events, So just like you have rightly mentioned, most of the events, the threats and risks these horseplays can really pose in the workplace. So, and the controls and mitigations which you've already discussed about. So basically, these are the things that could actually happen within the workplace. So for horseplay, really, it's not really, I would say, on a range from 1 to 10, incident that may have resulted due to horseplay would be something maybe 1%, 1:10, So it's not something that is really common, but it's a very important topic because little things lead to big things, especially in the workplace. So we could also classify it under the safety triangle. It could fall under at-risk behavior, right? At-risk behavior, maybe near misses. So, and when you look at the pyramid, we want to prevent such activity or event from happening, because once we do that, we've been able to eliminate serious or minor injuries. So my giveaway is that, yes, we should try to prevent, anything horseplay, because sometimes horseplay becomes reality, It could lead to real events most times. So that's it from me. That's my contribution. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. David. Thank you for your wonderful contribution as always. We appreciate you. So just like you have said, if we don't do the right thing at this time, you never can tell when that horseplay will lead to something bigger. So that is why we don't take it for granted. Even though that it doesn't result in incidents often, but it doesn't mean that we will not give it attention. And giving it attention and bringing the attention of the supervisors to this type of things and what it can cause will help us prevent incident, because they might also be engaging in the horseplay in the front of the supervisor. And if the supervisor is not educated or is not enlightened in this direction, he will overlook it. So bringing this type of topic, enlightening them on what could go wrong and why horseplay should not be encouraged, will help the supervisor understand exactly what he should be looking out for. And that will help to prevent any incident that could occur in that regard. Because you find out that even some supervisors engage in the horseplay with the workers. Instead of giving somebody a hammer or maybe giving somebody a tool, the person will just throw it. Maybe they are using trowel. You see, during concrete casting or during block work, somebody is using a trowel and the other worker wants the trowel. And he said, instead of giving it to him, he throws it to him. That is a typical example of horseplay that it has been going on every time. Supervisor will just look at it and look away. But it could happen on one of the occasions, then it could just hit on somebody's head and it becomes a major injury and a major incident. So enlightening them and bringing up this type of topics and re-echoing it in their ears helps them understand that horseplay is a big deal, even though that the rate of at which it causes accidents could be low, but it could result in incidents and injuries. So this is why we don't need to let it slide. We need to keep talking about it as well. So someone else have something to say? Someone else has something to say. Go ahead. Okay, if that is all, then we will call it a day. So thank you guys for joining today. Thank you for your time. I really appreciate all our presence every week. We are steadfast and we are not bowing down. So thank you guys for joining. And next week, we'll be discussing another interesting topic. So if you have another topic in mind, you can just reach out to me and let us schedule it for next week. So thank you guys for joining and see you next week, Thursday.